What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Ragin Ronin review. I got a series review for you. In this video, I will be reviewing the first season of Pacific Rim: The Black on Netflix. It's 7 episodes. They're averaging around like 24 minutes per episode, and this is an actual continuation of the Pacific Rim franchise. Okay, so there was Pacific Rim directed by Guillermo del Toro. I think that was back in 2013, and that was a very serious serious but fun, action-packed film, which dealt with kaijus and big mecha. So essentially it was like an Evangelion / Gundam film, and Guillermo del Toro brought that all to life with Pacific Rim. Then there was the follow-up. That one came out in 2018, if I remember correctly, directed by Steven DeKnight, and he made it more catered towards the younger demographic. It was more fun, it was less serious, less melodramatic like the first one, and there was a younger cast, and thus it was more of like just a fun, action-packed film. Okay, and it was two very different films, two very different directions. Some people like the first one more than the other. I think that I like them both in their own different ways. Now we have Pacific Rim: The Black, an animated series, which is a direct follow-up, and I loved it. It was great. I'm so glad Netflix decided to bring us more Pacific Rim, because I've been wanting Pacific Rim 3. I've been wanting a continuation of this story. I wanted to see more big mecha going up against kaijus, the Jaeger versus kaiju battle. I wanted to see more of that. And this one really delves into more stories. You know what I'm saying? Because in the first one, we had these set of characters. In the second one, Uprising, they had these set of characters. Now we have a new set of characters, and they have their own stories. And this takes place after Uprising, so you're now introduced to what happens next, and what's happened to these other people around the world that are dealing with Jaeger destruction and that disaster. So what is going on? So it introduces a lot of new elements that we've never thought of before. It's not just about Jaeger versus kaiju. There's so many other elements, and this one, with it being told in an animated format, there are less limitations as to what they can do story-wise, because there's more of a human story there. There's more. There's actually more with regards to kaiju lore, and also these side stories, these human side stories, which are actually really directly connected with what's going on with the Pan-Pacific Defense, PPDC, Pan-Pacific Defense Corps, and the kaijus. There's so much more to it, and there's a lot of mystery, which is what makes it really so great, because they introduce these elements which you're wondering if there's like a definitive answer as to why things are the way they are, but there really isn't until we continue the episodes and we get more answers or questions answered for us. But then it opens up a new set of questions, which leads us to some really, really badass kaiju versus Jaeger fighting. That's what we're here for, right? That's what Pacific Rim is really all about, all that fighting. But I love the fact that the development and build up to that creates more stakes involved, and the fact that you see more backstory for these characters that we're involved with really shows you that that human side, and that character engagement and investment. That's the most important thing. We're so invested in these characters now. I think with the Pacific Rim Uprising characters, it's a little bit harder to get invested in them, but they really wrote some really great characters in this film, and I'm really curious to see where they're going to take it next, because bring on season 2. Okay, seriously, bring on season 2. I can't wait for it, because there's a much larger story for this, because Pacific Rim is huge, okay? As a whole, as a concept, it's huge. There's so much more to just defending kaijus with Jaegers. So much more to that. There's like, you know, what's going on with the government, right? And what's going on with the smaller human stories? What's going on with the kaijus and where they come from? This is where all that is gonna be. I won't necessarily say explained, but it's going to be explored. All right, and that's why this Pacific Rim the Black series is so great. I'm so glad they decided to not end Pacific Rim with Uprising, because there are other stories to be told, and Netflix really did a great job with what I watched so far in 7 episodes. I'm very, very satisfied. I need to see more. And by the way, I really love the voice acting in this, okay? The action is great, the voice acting is great. I really, really like the characters, despite the fact that they do make some pretty questionable decisions, but that's just all, you know, their characters. That's the way they were written, and, you know, that's really, really cool, and it gives you a lot of up and down moments, you know what I'm saying? So there's never, it's never really, you can't predict what's going to happen next, all right? And I love the different relationships all these different characters have. Anyways, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I'm not going to give anything away, but I will tell you that this is a great series, and it's just, it really brings it to a different level when it's told in animated format. So anyways, 9 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. Bring on season 2. Go check it out, especially if you're a Pacific Rim fan. My name's Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.